Hello! So, guess what was going through my head tonight? I started thinking about a story from my childhood that I would probably say was the most fascinating thing that happened to me when I was a kid. And I thought I'd share it with you and ask you, what is the most fascinating thing that happened to you as a kid? Do you ever remember being fascinated as a child? I don't remember it very much. I just didn't get to have a lot of very cool experiences. And the things that were cool to me were generally just typical for a lot of people. So sharing those are kind of I almost said date me, which usually means let people know how old I am and kind of the time period I lived in. It's not what I would mean to say. Sharing those experiences with you guys would just be kind of embarrassing because, I was poor and I didn't get to do a whole lot of anything. But let me tell you about the fascinating experience that I remember from my childhood, and I will make this the shortest story I possibly can. When I was around 9 or 10, and my sister and a lot of her friends were about 12 or 13, we knew a lady from our church that worked as a housekeeper / house sitter or something for a very wealthy family. And this family lived in a large, large house. And one day she invited us to come spend the night. So that day we all swam in the huge pool that was in the backyard. And I remember snippets of the visual things that I was seeing. I could kind of maybe draw a very rough guesstimate of the floor plan of this house if I wanted to. And so anyway, I remember we swam in the pool, and that was fun. And all the older girls liked to hang out in the deep end, so I was always scared because I couldn't swim very well, and I think I had floaties on or something. And so it was a little embarrassing, but I tried to hang out with them as much as possible, so I hung out on that side of the pool. And there was a vacuum cleaner in the pool, I remember, that scared the crap out of me. Kept traveling all around the pool, and I would always stay away from it and be like, and swim the opposite direction whenever I saw it coming. But here's what I distinctly remember that was most interesting to me. This lady stayed in a kind of a little offshoot of the rest of the house. It was like a little suite thing. It had a bedroom and a bathroom and like a a living room and a kitchenette. So that's where we were all going to sleep for that night. So we spent some time doing stuff, hanging out, girly stuff, girl slumber party. And I think we had Chips Ahoy, or watched a Chips Ahoy commercial on TV, I don't know. But I very distinctly remember Chips Ahoy and the theme song being involved. And at some point in the evening, we decided that we wanted to go on an adventure. And I don't remember whether we purposefully headed off into the rest of the house to go find another room to sleep in, or if we were just told we could explore, I'm not sure. But the main part of this house had a huge living room with their huge TV and all this stuff. Had this big white staircase, grand staircase, that led up to the second floor. I don't remember if this was a 2 or 3 floored home, storied home, whatever you want to say. But we liked, rather than the grand staircase, we really liked the spiral staircase that was like further back into the house, right behind the grand staircase. And that one was fun because it felt really secretive, like you had found a secret niche, to the top floor or whatever. It was really cool. So we liked to use that one. But at some point, we went in search for, we just decided to explore the rest of the house. So we started counting the bedrooms and the bathrooms. And there were 11, I think there were 10 or 11 bedrooms and like 9 bathrooms in this house. And when I think about that now, I can't even fathom the magnitude of what that actually looked like in this house. Like, I don't remember driving up to the house and looking at it and going, this is huge, I just remember being enamored by the chance to be here or something, and then being there, and us starting to count the bedrooms and the bathrooms, and me going, 11 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms. Because there's no way these people even used all of those, obviously. They had kids, as evidenced by the beautiful pictures that they had sitting around in their living room. But, it's like excess of room. It was insane. So at some point, we found one of the bedrooms that we wanted to stay in. It had this big bed in it. And I think only some of us were supposed to sleep there. But I think about 8 out of 10 of us decided to pile into this bed. Us little kids, whatever. But we decided to all sleep together in one big bed, which was very uncomfortable. And we stayed up so late that we saw the sunrise, which was interesting. Because at that point, being 9 or 10 as I was, that was like the first time I'd ever done that. And so that was, in and of itself, amazing to me. And then something very quirky about the house was that anytime you went into a bathroom, you could not close the door, because if you closed the door, you would lock yourself in. So I had taken in that information at the beginning, and it was kind of in my head. But here I was at 3 in the morning or something like that, needing to go to the bathroom. Actually, it might have been later. Maybe it was like 6, because we'd seen the sunrise. And so everybody else had gone to sleep. And so I needed to go to the bathroom. So I went in there, and I closed the door. So I did my business, and then I went to open the door, and lo and behold, I was locked in. So I believe I knocked kind of softly, like, because I didn't want to wake up everybody, but that was inevitable, because what ended up happening was I knocked, got the attention of one of the girls, and she got up and came to see what was the matter. I was like, I'm locked in. And I was kind of sad by this point. I felt like I was going to be in this bathroom for the rest of my life. That's what it felt like to me at that age. I was just like, oh, this is horrible. I wonder if I was 8. I don't know. Anyway, so turns out the way this whole story ended, my dad had to come to the house with screwdriver in hand and come and get me out of this bathroom, you know, in the crack of dawn in the morning, and woke everybody else up. And I don't know whether we went back to sleep after that. But that was the end of our little journey. So that was the most fascinating story of my childhood. That house was freaking amazing, and I kind of feel like asking my dad now if he remembers where that house was located, because I know that he actually came and dropped me and my sister off there. So I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to go look at it again. I remember it being really, really plain and semi-boring from the outside, but the inside was fascinating. So anyway, that's my story. I'm done chatting. I just really felt a need to share that with something or somebody, and so I thought I'd put it here. Thanks for watching. Shout out. Where's my stop button? To chat. Hi, chat. I'm getting a haircut, and I can't wait to get rid of this mess on the top of my head. It'll be short